If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today.
When we started the farm stand, when the neighbor wanted us to do the farm stand, okay, fine. So we had basil, we have tomatoes, and people were like, well, I already have basil on the back porch and I have a tomato. And so I realized that we didn't want people to have to come here for eggs, go there for honey. We wanted a one-stop shop. But a lot of things, they do work together. For instance, when I was in the restaurants, we had this guy who did honey for the restaurants. I said, well, put some hives on the farm, then we can tell the customers that it came from our own farm. And so then people are like, oh, you have honeybees here? I said, oh, yeah, we do. So I said, well, that's fine. I'll just buy the honey from the beekeeper, and then we'll sell it here. People love the honey. Now we do our own beehives. And then we had animals, and we started with 3 pigs and 50 chickens. We said we were going to sell 2 pigs to pay for our 1 pig. And then we started selling pork to the customer, and it was different. It was good. I worked for like 5 years in the restaurants, continued to work in the restaurants before I left. People were interested in a chef. And so I started cooking for the farm. And the best part was, what do you do with a bruised tomato? Well, you don't want to sell, we don't want to sell number 2s. We only want to sell the premium. So I said, well, we'll make salsa. And then we made pesto. And now we've created a market basket. We leased kitchen space for a long time. And in 2021, we bought our own kitchen. So now we have our own kitchen. And the beauty of that is, if you have a bruised tomato, we raise animals, and a lot of customers are surprised that you don't just get pork chops. You get pig's feet and pig's tails and other parts of the animal. Yeah. And the kitchen has allowed us to use 95%. We don't waste anything. Everything is, and I don't like waste is not a good word. Every part of the animal is honored, and I think that's really important when you haven't raised animals before and you have to drive them to the processor. It gives you a different perspective of the animal. You're dropping them off to be killed, or if you want some harvested or some, bucolic term. But the reality is they're going to be killed to feed our family and to feed others. And so right away we realized, okay, what do we do we got on the phone with the processor, what do we do with every part of this? What's left that we're not bringing home? And it did 2 things. It did honor the animal, but it also increased the profits, because now you're using 100%. We used to have so many bones, what do we do with all these damn bones? And then everybody's like, then the bone broth craze came. So I used to go and look in these little shops in town that I'm like, why is it bone broth? This is like water. Good broth is gelatin when it's cold. And so we were able to make an incredible bone broth that, we could barely give away the bones before. And now we're turning into this incredible product. We run out of bones from our own processing. And so that's where the diversity came from. It was to create a market basket. And now with the extra land, to do beef, we're in the Midwest, everybody loves beef, but we never had land for beef. And so now with this new land with the conservation fund, not only are we doing beef, but we're doing Wagyu, F1 Wagyu, so Wagyu Angus cross. February 14th, we processed our first animals.
And more importantly, correct me if I'm wrong, but like not only are you doing beef, not only are you doing like American Wagyu, but I'm assuming if you're CNG, you're doing things the proper way, both for the animal and for nutrient density and for the ecology of the land. And so it's afforded you the opportunity to not only just like diversify and, exploit a niche that is there, you now have the opportunity to do it in a way that is healing to the land and like nourishing in a healthy way to humans. And I think, that's a huge benefit. Cause anybody could go buy a piece of property and throw however many head of cattle out there and just let them eat the grass or whatever, and then ship them off to a feedlot once they hit, once they hit the proper weight. But to be able to do it and do it in a proper way, that's a huge deal.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's been quite an undertaking. But it's been
And-
fun. I'm still having fun, so it's okay.
Hello, growers. Say goodbye to heavy sandbags and hello to Modern Growers Quick Hoops Low Tunnels. Protect your plants from pests, wind, rain, and frost without the hassle of sandbags or flimsy hoops. Our patented design eliminates the need for clamps and ropes, while the unique wire system keeps covers secure yet easily accessible. Tested in the strong winds of New Zealand for over 20 years, Quick Hoops are light, strong, portable, and versatile. Most importantly, they're designed for field use. These aren't some lightweight system that only looks great in a greenhouse. Our hoops are designed to last in harsh field conditions. Use them with any covering to grow year-round and safeguard your crops. Shade cloth, frost blanket, insect net, clear poly, no problem. Quick Hoops can handle them. Get Quick Hoops today at shop.moderngrower.co and protect your crops for years to come.